Let's take a look then at today's stage as the riders take a ride from Oinville-sur-Monceau down to Ormelie. It's a trudge of 188 kilometres of racing. Now normally in this region there's the chance of echelons. The wind is pretty light, but it is forecasted to pick up in the afternoon. Over the Côte de Grange-le-Roi and then through 2 intermediate sprints on the run in down to the finish. Then an interesting run into this finish line in this small town. That's the profile. There's nothing really to speak of in terms of things to challenge the riders. The riders starting from this little town in Oinville. Rolling out of the race starts at around 11:25. Oinville, a little country town, around about 1,000 people live here, so a very tiny municipality. Dates back, if you go back in the record books, to around the 12th century, and a little bit of an uphill start for the riders. Again, another beautiful day. Pretty much blue sky, no cloud, very, very cold though. Chilly, 8 degrees centigrade. The wind making it feel a lot colder than that. And the peloton, as we look down on it, has been pretty active, although the average speed today is pretty slow, 39 kilometres an hour. The second hour racing, the riders covered 38.5 kilometres. The average speed to that point was 37.9. Now, there were 2 riders on the attack. Sander Armé of Quebec Assos, he crashed yesterday, and he was on the attack with Dries de Bont of the Alpecin Phoenix team. Now, just before the riders got to the first intermediate sprint of the day, there was a real surge in the peloton. Trek Segafredo came to the front, and they caused some echelons. They put some riders in difficulty. Steven Kruijswijk, for example, was in the second of the echelons, and that created a little bit of havoc. There was a lot of chasing going on for a long time. They caught the 2 riders, Sander Armé and Dries de Bont. Then everything regrouped with 5 kilometres to go to the first intermediate sprint. And when they went through that intermediate sprint, everything was regrouped. Michael Matthews took the 3 points. Florian Vermeesch took 2. And Yves Lampert of De Koning Quickstep took the 1 point on offer as they raced through there. So Michael Matthews accumulating a few more bonus seconds here or there, which puts him now at 2 seconds from the lead of Sam Bennett. So he's on a little bit of a hunt to try and secure that leader's jersey if he possibly can. Not necessarily doing it with the intermediate sprint, but doing it with taking up some bonus seconds. Coming up then to the intermediate sprint, we'll see who picks this one up. Michael Matthews, I think, will be looking for this. He's moved into virtual second place ahead of Arnaud Demar. If he picks up the maximum points here and Sam Bennett doesn't score, Michael Matthews will be the virtual leader of the race. So let's see whether we get any sort of move. Tish Benoot moving up on the right-hand side for Team DSM. Cofidis moving up. Bottles being handed out. Right on cue. Simon Geschke brought the bottles up, and now we get the movement. Bike Exchange right-hand side with that black and celeste-coloured kit. And now Ineos Grenadiers looking for the bonus seconds with Theo Gegenhardt. Michael Matthews moves up. And Theo Gegenhardt's going to go for the bonus here with Michael Matthews. And on the left-hand side is Andre Greipel. And Gegenhardt isn't going to get it, but it's going to be Greipel who takes the maximum, I think, with Michael Matthews up there as well, and Niels Pollitt. Did Greipel get it? Did Michael Matthews get it? Let's take a little look. Theo Gegenhardt looking for some bonus seconds. Decided to take an opportunity. Greipel on the right-hand side, Matthews on the left, and looks like it's Greipel from Matthews. Matthews will take 2 seconds. And I'm hearing there's a crash at the back. Oh, a crash of George Bennett. That's a big crash. I don't know if George Bennett hit that pole on the left-hand side. Yeah, George is all over the place here. Let's hope he's okay. That was a big crash. You can see how shaken he is. A real narrowing of the road. There are some tricky moments. George Bennett, well, the doctor will check him out. He's going to make sure he's okay. That bike's not okay to ride, I don't think. George looking for a helmet. And a real narrowing of the road here. Bennett left on the road. I don't think he hit the pole, but he definitely had a very, very heavy fall. Yeah, George is not going to continue with that. He's a bit shaken. Well, the doctors now will not let him continue until they know he's okay. And there is a protocol that the doctor goes through as far as concussion is concerned before he'll allow George Bennett to get back on the bike. Helmet is back on. Haven't seen the doctor. In fact, here is the doctor now. Well, the doctor wanted to, I think, check with George Bennett that all was okay. But he's up and running and back on his bike. Now there should be a concussion protocol there. And the doctor was ready to do it. And they let him get back on the bike and go. Israel Startup Nation in this race. Chris Nielands from Latvia, Rudy Barbier, who was up there in the sprint yesterday. Patrick Bevan, Matthias Brett. Oh, another crash. That was a big crash as well. This is the problem when this peloton, as Scott Thwaites is one of them on the left-hand side from Alpecin Phoenix. Down is Alexis Viamos from Total. That was a very big crash from him. Oops. I'm so sure he should be getting lifted like that, to be fair. Scott Thwaites down, left-hand side. Alexis Viamos down. And right now, that looks to me like something isn't very good. Alexis Viamos, the doctor is, he just wants to lie back. He's in a lot of pain right now. The doctor's with him. Let's hope he's okay. Now he's just checking something as he makes his way onto the back of the peloton. He'll be very happy to see the group again. It's been a long chase. Now he's just having a chat to the race director. I think George Bennett's going to have something to say about that road narrowing. I get the sense that that's what he was talking about. Campanarts, he's there in a holding position for Giacomo Nizzolo. Oh, another crash at the back. And a couple of riders have hit the deck here, coming down. Gregor Mühlberger is one of them, who's crashed, and also there, Daniel Aroave, who's had 2 crashes in 2 days. He's not happy. Not a good start to his time in this race. 2 days, 2 crashes. Now he's got to get himself back in the peloton. He's a little bit sore, I think. The youngest rider in the race. Well, the team will talk to him and try and get him going. The doctor is going to see him. He's obviously got a problem. Well, this young rider from Colombia getting a sense of what Paris-Nice is all about. It's a nervous race. It always is. There's so much at stake. And he's learning what it's all about. If you are riding near the back, then you are going to have problems. Mühlberger up and running. He seems okay. Mühlberger then will try and get himself back into the peloton before they reach the finish, but I think that's going to be a bit of an ask. Now Movistar alongside still the same riders: Sepp van Marken, Tony Martin, Dylan van Baarle. Jorg Arkas going back now for Gregor Mühlberger, another member of the Movistar team, just up at the front of the cars. 6 kilometres to go. Waiting here, Sebastian Mora. Mora, a very good track rider. Just waiting then for the arrival of Gregor Mühlberger. They want him to come back. Jasper Stuyvesant on the wheels. Gregor Mühlberger trying to return now. He might just get onto the tail of the peloton before the finish. Lovely new surface roads here for the riders to race on. Flat out by Trek Segafredo. They're looking good. They want to bring Mads Pedersen to this victory today. Put him in the prime position. He was up there yesterday. Pedersen took 3rd place. He's in the green jersey. Arnaud Demar now with his lead-out men just in front of him. Looking after his interests. Sinkeldam is there, and so is Garnieri. Moving up on the right-hand side, Bora Hansgrohe, 54 kilometres an hour now, as we see the arrival in red of the team of Arkea Samsic. Ooh, how did they not crash? Little bit of a move across the road there as Arkea got squeezed. 1900 metres to go. The pace suddenly is very, very fast as Arkea bring Nasser Bouhanni forward to try and win stage number 2. Bouhanni's in his lead-out train. His last lead-out man is the British rider Dan McClay. Now they're going to go a fast right-hander with a squeeze and almost turning back on yourselves. One rider comes to a standstill round that corner. That was a very, very tricky right-hander with a doubling back. Now the roads will go slightly downhill after this little climb. Schachmann is on the front. Up this little rise. And then it's downhill after this, a slight right-hander into the finish as Mühlberger arrives at the back of the peloton. 1,300 metres to go. Now this is a little bit of a climb. 1,200 metres, there's a few sprinters losing some places. Bouhanni is one of them. Arkea need to bring him back. Cees Bol is up there with Tish Benoot. Good position. Brian Cockard is also there, maybe a little bit too far. Oh, a big crash on that corner. Loads of riders coming down. And Quebec Assos riders are down. A Bora Hansgrohe rider down. One rider from UAE. 1,000 metres to go. And it's Tish Benoot who is on the front, lining this out for the team of DSM with Cees Bol on the wheels. There's loads of riders down here. I don't know if Ackerman was one of them. It looked like he might have been on the deck. So here we go, 800 metres to go. Oh, Pedersen leans on Cockard to try and get through the gap. Another rider moving up is Michael Matthews. One more turn to come before the finish. Here it comes, right-hand bend. Trek Segafredo first through the corner with Pedersen. Pedersen's second wheel. Cockard getting ready to strike. On the wheel, not too far behind, is Michael Matthews. Cockard is right on the wheel of Pedersen to try and leave it late and jump out of the slipstream. On the wheel is... for DSM is Cees Bol. Here goes Mads Pedersen. Pedersen going for the finish. Cees Bol is going to hit the line. Cees Bol is going to take the victory for DSM. What a sprint. Superb sprint by Cees Bol. He takes the win he's been looking for. That was a stunning, stunning sprint. Cees Bol took a slightly longer way around the corner, but look at the speed. Cees Bol takes it by bike lengths on the line. Stunning lead out by DSM. They got that perfect today. Ackerman was up there, he wasn't on the deck, but there was no doubt about the winner. The joy on the face of Cees Bol. Superb sprint. His last win was on the 21st of February 2020, stage 3 of the Tour of the Algarve. That was a perfect lead out by Cees Bol. They hit the line at the right time. They got everything perfect on the run-in. They delivered him perfectly. Look at that, the lead-out men were in front of him. Cees Bol put him in a perfect position. All the other teams trying to move up. Pedersen and his lead-out was good. Cockard and Pedersen having a little bit of a bumping and a barging. But the lead-out from, I think, Eickhoff was right. Cees Bol had done his work as well. But they put him in the right place and he left it late. And it was right to leave it late here because they bend slightly round to the finish after that right-hand turn. Means that Cees Bol could leave it, and then he went. Look at the speed that he went at when he jumped. There was no chance. Cees Bol wins, Pedersen second. Third, I think, was Matthews. Bennett was closing fast. Pedersen might have been just slightly overgeared. Cees Bol, when the acceleration happened, there was no doubt whatsoever as to who was going to win that stage.
Qui connaît donc la consécration sur les routes de Paris-Nice, une somptueuse victoire en carrière. On le rappelle, il avait régalé à l'occasion du Tour de France l'été dernier. Il enchaînait.
Let's take a look then at the classification of the day. Cees Bol wins the sprint ahead of Mads Pedersen in second and Michael Matthews in third place. That might mean that Michael Matthews, just check, could have moved into the lead, but we'll just double check. Bennett was in fifth today, then Degenkolb and Ackerman. similar sprinters in the top places overall. We're waiting for the classification as to who's going to be in that yellow jersey. Matthews has scored a few points here or there, and sorry, a few bonus seconds here or there today. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Matthews is the new leader of Paris-Nice.
La deuxième étape de Paris-Nice, longue de 188 km entre la localité de Wainville-sur-Moncion et Abilly, dans le département du Loiret. Mesdames, Messieurs, vos applaudissements pour le vainqueur de l'étape, Cees Bol.
Cees Bol, the winner of stage 2.
S'impose donc dans cette étape numéro 2. Il est félicité par monsieur Gérard Dupaty, maire d'Abilly, aux côtés de monsieur Jean-Paul Billot, président de l'agglomération montargoise. Il reçoit la récompense également du parrain 2010. Vos applaudissements pour Cees Bol qui remporte le plus beau.
Now he's secured that win. How many more is he going to get? Maybe that relaxation of the fact that he's come back with a big result here.
L'année dernière, on l'a vu sur les routes du Tour de France inergoise. Michael Matthews donc avec
I don't think he's been on the podium with one of the new protocols. Michael Matthews leads Paris-Nice 4 seconds ahead of Mads Pedersen and 4 seconds ahead of Bennett and Bol now, with Demar in 5th and Greipel in 6th. New leader of Paris-Nice after 2 stages, riding for Team Bike Exchange. New signing, Michael Matthews.
Pour le nouveau porteur du maillot jaune, l'Australien Michael Matthews.